Looks like Ubisoft's advice to get used not to owning your own games is not going over very well. This is a cow's opinion. Catchphrase. We ain't got one. But what we do have is the latest and greatest news and video game information that is coming up. So like, comment, and subscribe if you like what we're doing here on the channel. Because today we're looking at Tom Ivan over at Video Games Chronicle, but this story is everywhere. Some gamers in California have decided to sell Ubisoft. Well, everyone's selling Ubisoft. Their stock is terrible. But they are suing Ubisoft for making the game unplayable. So in December, this previous year, the publisher had quietly delisted The Crew and confirmed that the game would not be playable after April. After almost a decade of support, we will be decommissioning The Crew 1 on March 31st, 2024. We understand this may be disappointing for players still enjoying the game, but it is necessary due to upcoming server infrastructure and licensing constraints. But now, first reported by Polygon, 2 players have launched a proposed class action lawsuit to accuse Ubisoft of violating the California consumer protection laws. They are claiming that by telling them they were buying a game when in fact all they were renting was a limited license to access a game that defendants chose to maintain at their own noblesse oblige. In other words, you should not have done that. The plaintiffs are also saying that they were falsely represented if The Crew itself was encoded onto physical discs that the consumers could buy or the digital files consumers could pay to download, but in actuality, the physical discs and downloaded files consumers paid for were more akin to a key that they could use to open the gates of this remote server, which defendants could one day decide to fail to maintain. Now, this is a pretty big thing. There's been some stuff where digital storefronts have delisted movies that people paid for. And the problem is that you didn't understand based on what you thought you were buying a digital copy. You are not. You are buying the right to access the digital copy on that company's streaming service or website, like Amazon or Netflix or Disney Plus or whatnot. And if they decide, but the thing is that if you decide this movie's not profitable anymore, we want to move it off, we want to sunset it for a little bit, whatever, then you may have paid full price for that movie. But guess what? If you don't got it physically, you don't got it. Which is why I had to recently buy the complete series of one of my favorite animes through eBay for a markup price because it got kicked off of Crunchyroll and it didn't come when Crunchyroll merged with Funimation. And it's this whole what do you actually own digitally that people are starting to fight against, and it's really going to start making some of these companies mad. Now, the plaintiffs are asking the court to approve this as a class action to get monetary relief and damage for all affected players. They are also noting that Ubisoft previously shut down online servers for other games while preserving offline features such as Assassin's Creed 2 and 3. And in response to this backlash, in September, Ubisoft announced plans to launch offline modes for The Crew 2 and The Crew Motorfest. We want to acknowledge that some of you voiced concern about the access to Crew games, said Stephanie Bealey. Forgive me if I don't have your name correctly. Stephanie? I don't know what that symbol means to put the I don't know. Senior Creative Director at Ivory Tower. Today, we want to express our commitment to the future of The Crew 2 and The Crew Motorfest. We are currently exploring different solutions and can confirm an offline mode to ensure long-term access to both titles. So yeah, not only is Ubisoft worried that they're going to get really hurt by this, but people aren't going to buy into your franchise if they know that, hey, 10 years is a long time. Don't get me wrong. But if after I own something for 10 years, if somebody would have come to my house and take my copy of it, I'd be like, whoa, what are you talking about? And they would be, well, you were just renting it, but thanks for taking good care of it. So yeah, it's not great. It's really not great. It's again, goes back to the heart of what do you own digitally or not, and don't mess with gamers. We don't like it. We really don't like it, guys. So, California has probably the best in the United States consumer protection laws as far as digital stuff is concerned, which is why this is happening there. But the class action can help anybody across the nation because, and honestly, I think both consumers and legal will move more towards this. It's okay to say, hey, we're not going to support the online stuff anymore. But you should make it to where you either need to make it clear, or you need to make it to where, by the way, here is where you can download your copy and just play offline or watch offline. So guys, this is just a little quickie that I noticed. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Did you like it? Do you not? Do you think Ubisoft is being picked on? Or do you think Ubisoft is maybe supposed to be a little bit nicer to their consumers? I'm mostly on the side of the consumers. I mean, look, it's a 10-year-old game, but people like playing old games. Especially this past year, people were playing more remakes and old games than they are the new stuff. And yes, that is also a bad news for the new games that people are making, because we've had a lot more. I think we've had more failures recently than usual, but it is a very important thing. What do I own digitally? So let me know in the comments below what you think. You know what else you can do? You can play more games. Games are awesome. The crew is supposedly awesome, but not playable anymore. But you deserve awesome. And I'll see you next time. I don't even know this game, really. I mean, I've heard of it, but is it like a heist game or a racer or just all version of Fast and Furious? I don't know.